Hello, welcome to week 2. This is our weakness day. So every individual day I'm going to be going in here and giving you an overview of the day, kind of breaking down the specifics, the different exercises, the educational component, the nutrition lifestyle component. So you haven't noticed already, each day of the program is meant to build on each other as far as the exercises and the physical component, obviously, but then also the lessons and the building out of this life map that is part of this 12-week program. Every 12-week cycle, we begin a new cohort of the curriculum that within the 12-week cycle, we're building your life map at the same time as we're going through this training process. So either way, all of these things come together and they integrate together into the program. Now, you may be just getting here and maybe just being exposed to all these different concepts. And I want to say that you are not required to do all of these things all at once, okay? You can pick and choose, and maybe at first you're just into the physical component, the exercises, and you don't care about the other stuff. That's fine. Or on the other side of that, you may just be interested in more of the educational side and you're not that interested in the physical stuff. That's okay too. So you can kind of, it's a big platter where everything is here and it's all really systematized and put together, but at the same time you still have the freedom to choose what resonates with you. But again, if you continue down this path, it does start to open up more and more and more and more for you, so you see how you can bring all of these different elements of your life together and really individualize and customize the program to help you in living out your own hero's journey and tapping into your own gifts and being of service in the best way that you feel called to be of service, okay? So a little bit of an introduction there. So this week 2, this is our prep week now. So we are in our weakness day of the prep week. We're in the prep phase. So all that being said, we've got a lot of volume right now. Right now we are seeing the highest amount of volume and density. So volume is just the overall amount of work. Density is the amount of work you're doing within a specific time frame. So it's just a lot of reps in a short amount of time. And along with that, on the other side of that is very, very low intensity. So especially today, our weakness day is going to be the highest amount of volume for the week with the lowest amount of intensity for the week. So a lot of reps, very little weight, okay? So keep that in mind as we're approaching this, all right? So today, all we're going to be doing is a snatch complex. Well, I say all we're going to be doing is a lot of shit, I'm not going to lie. So we've got a snatch complex. Well, you're going to begin with a track warm-up that you will see. We've got a snatch complex, snatch pull, below the knee hang power snatch, plus snatch balance. It's a lot of reps. It's 10 reps total between those 3 exercises, 3 snatch pulls, 3 below the knee hang power snatch, 3 snatch balances. A lot of reps, low weight, but the 10 reps total is actually helping to prepare us for the 10 reps of the test, which is the snatch and clean and jerk total, okay? For 10 reps, how much weight you can do for 10 reps. Next thing is gonna be a clean pull, below the knee hang power clean, and a front squat. So same thing, and you'll see videos of these as well. And then we've got push press power jerk plus a split jerk, same idea. And then we've got 2 kind of accessories, because this is a long day, so we had 3 specific complexes, then we'll have 2 accessory type supersets, although they're still going to be oriented towards the weakness, because remember, the weakness is related to the test. So whatever the test is, the weak links that are holding you back from really maximizing the test, those are the things that we focus on in the weakness day. And then over time too, you will have developed your own idea of what your specific weaknesses are, and you'll be able to even plug in your own specific weaknesses if you choose to. Again, going through this process is also teaching you the principles of the program so that you can modify the different principles and the different specifics of the program, okay? So we got 2 supersets to end it off, tall muscle snatch with a press from the split, and then we've got Romanian deadlifts with box jumps, okay? So it's 10 reps of each of those. Again, this idea of capacity for power and speed. So the box jumps, for example, 10 reps, so that's an explosive movement, but we're doing it for a lot of reps, so that's training, in a sense, your power endurance, okay? So the main teaching for the day, the main lesson for today, the gene key, each of these days of the week, on the weekends we get a little bit of a rest, but each of the days of the week there's a different gene key. So a gene key is essentially, you can think of it like I like to think of it as a lens. So it's like you've got this, your whole life and just everything that's included within there, and the gene keys as a whole can essentially represent and be a map for your whole life and all the different kinds of experiences that we have as human beings. But then each gene key individually acts as like a fractal holographic, which that's just fancy for meaning that every little piece contains the whole of it. You can look at every gene key and you can see the essence of all of the gene keys, but each gene key individually is just a little bit of a different filter. I imagine it like, if you've got a telescope or you've got something that you're looking through, and at the end of it, there's a lot of different colors, filters. You can see things through the red filter, you can see things through the green filter, through the blue filter, or you can combine and look at different filters all at once, okay? So that's what each gene key is. So the gene key for today is gene key number 5. Now this is the overview for this next step, which is step number 2 now, is building your character. So this is the overview of step 2, building your character. And really the overview, the essence of week 2 is doing what you love. Because when you're doing what you love, you're pulling yourself into the moment. When you're pulling yourself into the moment, paradoxically, time starts to become way less important when you're living in the moment. And that's also where your highest level of intelligence and love and wisdom and really your best you comes out in the moment. And to get ourselves in the moment, we need to be approaching life with love. The best way to approach life with love is just to do what you love to do. That's why last week, week 1, step 1, we expanded the possibility of what that would even look like, being able to do what you love to do as your life. So now we're going to start the process of actually building a blueprint, a framework, a step-by-step guided system to build your life map, which basically is a cosmology. It's a whole working of all the different elements of your life connected all together into one system where, because you have this system in your life, it allows you to continue to just stay in the moment, because you can trust that all these different variables and things in your life, all the main stuff in your life is contained within this, and is therefore, you don't have to worry about it. You already know that you're going to be doing the most important stuff in your life because you've already pre-planned that. You've already preset that, so that when it actually comes to the day-to-day, the moment-to-moment, all you've got to do is just have fun. It's like it's structured play, and that's where your genius lies. You play your way to genius, my friends. So the task for today then, and real quick, the gene key number 5, and another little note too is, we're in this 12-week program, which is basically level 1. But then after you finish level 1, you've gained a certain amount of points and you have completed the life map, which is the prerequisite to move to the next level. Then you unlock level 2. Level 2 essentially is a 1-year program where we spend a month going through and getting deeper into each one of these gene keys, each one of these steps in the process. So each step, instead of being a week long, will in essence be a month long. Now, what that looks like after level 1, it's a little bit more free, because there's going to be a lot more of an individual touch after we get to level 1. So a lot of the education is going to be coming in essence outside of the program, through the one-on-one interactions and the meetings and the things that you have with your coaches. But at the same time, even if you are just following the program and you've completed level 1, going through is just going to allow you to get deeper and deeper. In a sense, you go through one phase of the program and that's level 1, but then you go through a whole year of the program. And even though we're repeating these similar cycles, every time you go through the cycle, you're going through it at just a higher level and a higher level and a higher level. So it's kind of like this spiral where each time you come back around, you're at a higher and a higher level. So in a sense, you're doing the same stuff or playing the same game. but you're playing it at a higher and higher level as you go through these cycles over and over and over again, okay? So Gene Key 5 and how it relates to all of this, because Gene Key 5 is all about moving into the moment, and by doing so, recognizing just these patterns that are happening. Because you know, when you're in the moment, you're able to really just feel the energy of even the seasons shifting and how the day is shifting. There's certain feelings that can be expressed and experienced in your body with even, you know, the shifting of the sun rising and the sun falling, just these cycles that happen. So as you allow yourself to be more in the moment, you actually become more aware of the cycles of your life, and then you can align yourself to the cycles of the life. Because you can try to fight winter all you want, but winter is going to be winter, okay? So with all of these different seasons, instead of trying to, you know, reject them or overcome them or whatever it looks like, align yourself with what is already happening. And that's the nature of nature. That's the nature of you as a human being. Just align yourself to yourself. Align yourself to what is already happening. And that's what we're doing in this program. We're creating a structure to align yourself to these natural rhythms of your life. And where we're at with this step 2, building your character, again, doing what you love to do. All right? So the task for today, this overview of doing what you love to do, bringing yourself back into the moment, aligning to love, and being able to move from that place, and doing that in a way that's, now we're building this blueprint to build your life map for yourself, to create this structure in your life that helps you to really become a manifestation machine, a dream realizing machine, because you have a system of manifestation that is in line with your own unique gifts, okay? That's the power of this stuff, y'all. And just, you know, keep trusting in this process, keep going through this process. So your task, so last week we identified what the key processes are, which are, these are the things that I just already love to do, and I'm doing them in a way that's helping me get better at the things that I want to get better at. That's why towards the end of the week last week, we created your key processes as this alignment between your KPIs, the things that you're measuring that you want to be better at, and the things that you love to do that you could just do every day just because you like to do them. You don't even need to be told to do them. So we want to create alignment there, so we connected the dots so that you doing what you love to do equals getting better at the things you want to get better at, and those are your key processes. So now from your key processes, in order to build this system, we need to kind of zoom back out a little bit, and we need to ask ourselves, what is the role that I am playing? What is the part of me that is being expressed as that specific key process? So you may have, you know, 3, 4, 5 key processes. Within each one of those key processes, what is that an expression of? What character are you playing that does that thing? So as an example, one of my key processes is training 4 times per week, as that helps me to get better at the things that I want to get better at. That's one of the things. You know, I have multiple key processes like we all do. But within that key process, if I ask myself these questions, the life type, which that's what we're going to call this part of yourself that expresses itself through the key process, your life type, or my life type when it comes to this, is the master. So that's the name that I have given this part of myself that expresses itself through training 4 times per week. Okay, another one of my key processes is creating a weekly overview video, or actually that's different. See, these also are going to evolve over time. So that was one of my previous ones. The new one that I kind of evolved into going into this new cycle here is to host 1 community event per week. And the life type that's associated with that is the teacher life type, okay? So it's all we're gonna do right now is just take these key processes, and then you're gonna see, okay, what life type is this key process being expressed through, Okay, so the master expresses itself through training. The teacher expresses itself through holding community events. Okay, so you're gonna do that for each one of your key processes. Most people end up with 4 different life types. And 4 is the number of completion. You'll see over and over again, we draw upon that number of completion a lot. So not to say that it has to be 4, it can be more or less, but often it does become 4 because that's just the quality of the number 4 as being this number of completion, okay? So you're gonna come up with your life types as your task today. Just list them down, just identify them. It's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. These most likely will change. Even over the course of this cycle, things may change. And the way that this system is built is it's meant to change. It's meant to evolve. So it's okay. Don't worry about being perfect. Just get something down and continue through this process, because you'll see how it continues to build and build and build. And if you want a little extra bonus, something that I have personally found helpful is to, when I'm looking at my life type, so the master for instance, I'm also looking at what's on the other side of that, you know, because there's always a duality. So what's on the other side of the master that actually helps the master to fully express itself? And for me, that's the apprentice. So on the other side of the master is the apprentice. On the other side of the teacher is the student. Again, it's just whatever resonates with you. You know, language is ultimately a vibration. So whatever words, whatever identity feels like it resonates with you, that's what you want to choose, okay? So that is your task for today, and that's the overview of the training. I will continue to, you know, put these videos out every day for you, and have fun, y'all. Let's get to training. Peace.